Hey, what's up guys, it's Matt, welcome back. Today we are talking about Superman and Lois, the surprising new entry into CW's Arrowverse. For anyone who doesn't know, the Arrowverse is a collection of DC superhero TV shows which were made by the CW, beginning with Arrow, adding The Flash, and then adding further shows with Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, Supergirl, and now Superman and Lois. The Arrowverse shows so far have been a mixed bag. Arrow started off well, but for me personally kind of got a bit samey. I ended up getting bored after about 5 seasons. The Flash doesn't take itself as seriously as Arrow, a lot more light-hearted. It's up to season 7 at the moment. I am still currently watching that, but it does suffer sometimes from a little bit of that sameness that Arrow has. The rest of the shows, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, I just don't watch. I've tried watching episodes here and there, I just can't get on board with. Obviously, when they have their big crossover event episodes, I watch the corresponding episodes just so I can get the whole story. I thought Crisis on Infinite Earths was absolutely brilliant, but it's still not enough to pull me in to actually regularly watch the other shows. However, Superman and Lois was announced, being a spin-off from Supergirl. Tyler Hoechlin? Tyler Hoechlin, I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right, I think I always get it wrong, but Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch are reprising their roles as Clark Kent Superman and Lois Lane from the Supergirl TV show. Now, my understanding is the way Supergirl kind of left their story and how their story picks up here, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different from like the end of Crisis to Supergirl, and they've obviously kind of mixed things. Apparently the show is set in the wider Arrowverse, but so far being 5 episodes in, there's no direct link as of yet. Rumour has it as well that Supergirl's going to appear in the show at some point, but it's not actually going to be Melissa Benoist, who played Supergirl in the Supergirl TV show, and someone else has been cast in the role. So I think there's an element of the show is, if they want to be part of the Arrowverse, they can be part of the Arrowverse, but I think they're trying to do their own thing. So despite that, the fact that 2 of the main actors from Supergirl are reprising their roles, I'm kind of treating it so far as an Elseworld story. And all I can say is, oh my god, this is such a step up from anything else that is part of the Arrowverse. A lot of the shows, I can't attest to all of them, but mainly Flash and Arrow, suffered very much from the kind of villain of the week syndrome. Smallville, back when that was on TV, obviously it had the whole villain of the week thing, which there's nothing wrong with, but it can just get a bit tiresome and boring. So far, 5 episodes in to Superman and Lois, and it's entirely different. It seems that they could be kind of setting up where there might be the potential for a villain of the week kind of thing, but at the moment it doesn't quite seem. They're going more for the overarching plot without needing a villain of the week to also go against, as everything is just driving towards this overarching plot. And it's just freaking gripping. Like, genuinely, really is gripping. People always say Superman's like an impossible superhero to write for. And people who do that don't understand the character. A lot of people feel that Superman is only as good as who he's up against, and because he's pretty much an unbeatable god, he needs to fight unbeatable gods, and basically all of his stories revolve around punching. Yes, to some degree, but the best Superman stories come from kind of Superman struggling with his place in the world, in society, in whatever. And what this show focuses on is on Superman and his kind of struggle to be a dad and fit in with his family and make time for his family. So the basic premise of the show so far, this isn't really a spoiler, you pretty much get this in the trailer, is that Clark and Lois and their 2 teenage sons, Jonathan and Jordan, move to Smallville so they can kind of reconnect, spend more time together as a family. Clark has kind of been a bit of an absent father because he's Superman and the world needs Superman. And the boys didn't know he was Superman, they just thought he was like a world reporter off doing important stories here, there and everywhere. Obviously the first episode kind of deals with them finding out. The show seems to be primarily a kind of focused family drama. You've also got the sort of teen angst elements in there with Jonathan and Jordan, but the show kind of does a good job of like balancing kind of what's going on with them in school and teenage drama and football and all of that, and then what's going on with Superman, again struggling to be a dad but also be Superman, and also Lois, who's, I guess, trying to find something to do for herself now that she's in Smallville, and she kind of takes it upon herself that there's something big and bad going on with kind of like big business America taking advantage of small town America, and that is a really compelling story, and it's obviously kind of ties into what is happening with Superman as well. So far from 5 episodes in, it already seems immediately much more story-driven, character-driven and focused than the likes of Arrow and Flash. It's not as campy as Arrow and Flash. It's definitely more serious. It's not quite like Zack Snyder levels of serious, but it is significantly more serious than the likes of Arrow and Flash. Whereas Arrow could come across a bit campy sometimes, this isn't campy whatsoever, and it's a hell of a lot more cinematic. This show straight up just looks like it should be on the big screen. It looks like a movie. Every single shot looks like a movie. It's absolutely fantastic. Clearly, the CW are pumping a lot of money into this show, and so far, 5 episodes in, it's paying off. The action we've had so far has been brilliant. The special effects for a TV show have been brilliant. The family drama is brilliant. It's just freaking great. Alex Garfin and Jordan Elsas are the 2 boys playing Jonathan and Jordan in the show. They do a good job, kind of playing 2 very opposite teenagers. Some of the teenage drama and teenage angst is very teenage drama and teenage angst, especially coming from Jordan. He's kind of the mopey, emo one of the 2 of them. Although there is a bit of a kind of role reversal thing going on there. I can get on board with it though, because that's kind of fully what teenagers are like. They're very wishy-washy and just hormonal and angry, and everything's okay one minute and the world's going to end the next minute. And just kind of seeing Superman and Lois have to deal with that as parents. It's just very enjoyable to watch. I guess that's kind of all there is to say so far. 5 episodes in, this is genuinely the best superhero thing the CW have put out so far. This thing takes the entirety of the Arrowverse up a whole other level. And this is by far superior to the likes of The Flash, The Arrow, yada yada yada. And I think CW going forward needs to be very careful on whether or not they actually want to link this to the rest of the Arrowverse, or maybe keep it as its own separate thing, because honestly, I think they're on to an absolute winner with this. And so far, 5 episodes in, this is one of the best Superman stories we've had on screen since, in my opinion, Man of Steel, which was a great film. Don't come at me. It's just absolutely freaking great. And if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you do. Alright then guys, that's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed it, do give it a like, do subscribe to my channel. Have you watched it? Do let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, take care.